Trump returned to the site of his assassination attempt. He's making this very central to his campaign.
The what now?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you remember, Trump was shot at, and we thought for a brief second that it would change the trajectory of the presidential race. This was before Biden had dropped out. And it had zero effect, and no one cared, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we get it.
The thing is that Donald Trump, when you are the chaos candidate, it's really difficult to whine and bitch about rhetoric on the other side when, I mean, you came down the escalator in the 2016 primary race and saying Mexicans are rapists. He's the avatar in the public's minds for inflammatory rhetoric. And then, he was encouraging his supporters to beat up protesters at his rallies. This is well documented, and it's very difficult for him to change the narrative at this point. But he shall try. More cult of personality stuff. Here he is on with Laura Ingraham talking about the moment that it happened.
When you walked out and Lee Greenwood was singing, I've known you for 20 plus years, a long time, and I looked at you and there was an emotional moment where, I think people around me were starting to tear up. Were you close to tearing up at that moment?
Well, if I admitted that, I think I'd lose a lot of votes. I'm not supposed to. Do you want a president that cries? I don't think so. So I'll say absolutely not.
The ride to the hospital from here, take us in the car.
Well, there was a lot of blood. And when I was down and bullets were flying over my head, I noticed tremendous amounts of blood. But I felt it's very, they talk about surreal. It wasn't surreal. I had total understanding of where I was. And the Secret Service people were very brave because I got down, I think people were shouting maybe or whatever, but I got down pretty fast. I was always impressed with that. I got down fast. If I didn't get down that fast, that would have been a second miracle. But they were flying right over my head. And you could hear them. I didn't know you could hear bullets. You can hear they're whizzing by at 4,000 miles an hour or something. But I think that more than anything else, they wanted me to go up by stretcher, and I didn't like that. I had a lot of people watching. I don't want that. But also, and I thought they did a great job.
Because the president has to look.
Well, I don't want to go out. I felt that I was hit in the ear, and it felt like the top of the ear. It grazed my ear, but it was really bloody. And the Secret Service people, and rightfully thought I was hit on 3 or 4 places because there's so much blood. Because the ear bleeds, or whatever, they say cartilage. The doctor at Butler said cartilage. And they say because of cartilage. The ear bleeds more than any other part of the body. There was blood all over the place.
Learning so much.
And I really thought that only was hit in the ear. So they said, sir, you were hit in other locations. And they're going all over my body. They probably realize what body this guy had. But
this is like a YouTuber who knows they need to get to 8 minutes and they only have 3 minutes of content. Come on.
I mean, I know he's completely indulged all the time. We'll cut it off in a sec, but I just want to hear his part about the shoes.
Do you guys remember how at the RNC he said, "I will talk about this here and never talk about this again"?
That's what I thought.
Oh,
that age.
Wait, Trump lied?
I thought I clocked out of this.
Now we're back.
Locations, and they're going all over my body. They probably realize what a body this guy had. But they're going all over, and they didn't find. I said,
so much
I'm not going on a stretch, and get me up. I wanted my shoes because they hit me. They hit me. No, when they went down, they hit me so hard that for some reason I think they were going at a different angle. Both shoes were off.
Are you wearing those shoes today?
It's different, but it's sort of similar, but it's sort of a little different. I haven't. Those shoes are loaded up with lots of blood. I'm not looking to wear them again.
Okay.
But
Jesus Christ, the blood was not pooling in your shoes from your ear wound, you psycho. But I do think he's self-conscious about the shoe thing. This really has no substance except for his obsession with the situation and how I just think you're supposed to be telling people what you're going to do for them, bro. You don't even have a healthcare plan. You have concepts of a plan.
Notice he's indoors, it looks like, as well.
Yeah, he can't. He's this. I mean, it did freak him out to a certain degree, but it's also that I think Sam's theory about him having lifts in his shoes is right, because he makes a point to talk about it here. Hey, what's with the shoes? Yeah, they're kind of similar.
That'd be so funny if like the attempt itself didn't have any impact on polling, but the revelation that he had like orthopedics or something like that, like just
shook him to his core. And you also hear how he views himself. First of all, I don't really know if Trump is even capable of crying, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, but he doesn't want to be on the stretcher. He wants to look strong. He doesn't want to be seen crying. He is the classic in terms of what he thinks his appeal is. It's the strongman thing, all the way down to the anti-democracy. I'll be a dictator on day one. I'm going to try to overturn the results of an election propensity that he has. So he's funny in many ways, but he also has a lot of qualities that are very concerning, and why this election is super important. This also came up in his conversation with Laura Ingraham. This is the part where he is asked about how he will restore confidence in the justice system after he becomes president. And, more whining.
How will you restore faith in our justice system? A lot of people will say, well, he's just going to do to them what they did to him and get back at them. And
a lot of people say that's what should happen.
Well,
you want to know the truth.
A lot of people.
Right. Well, but I think, punitively using government institutions is what got us in this mess in the first place. And our town hall that we did back in February, one of the lines that really resonated, I think, with people is when you said, "My revenge is going to be my success."
Yeah, well, I do believe that, but I will say this: they have started a terrible precedent. We've never had this. We do have that in third world countries, banana republics, a lot in South America where they go after somebody politically that's an opponent. We never had it to any great extent, really almost at all.
But you're not going to do that. When you get in office, you're going to look at all your political enemies.
No, I want to make this the most successful country in the world. That's what I want to do.
Okay, so he won't rule it out. The guy ran. It's just so funny to watch these conservative commentators attempt to sanitize him in real time. The dude ran on Lock Her Up in 2016. The idea that he doesn't have, that he has an issue with using the justice system in some sort of retribution spree.
In the justice system.
Remember Trump's 2020 election interference case? He pled not guilty, but only after making it clear that he, quote, had every right to do so. Ground News found 90 sources covering this with significantly less reporting from the right. And going through these articles, you can see there's no mention from conservative outlets of what looks like Trump's confession. Now, the left points this could be the very thing that helps Jack Smith finally convict him. This type of selective reporting is the exact problem we've been talking about with today's news. Rather than adding clarity to an already confusing election season and political landscape, the news can easily contribute to it. That's why we're longtime partners of Ground News. Their platform is designed for people who want to go beyond the headlines to deeply understand today's current events from every perspective. And with Trump and Harris often at the center of very selective reporting, I highly recommend following the news on the debate and the rest of their campaign here, so you can avoid being manipulated by the news you see and the news you don't. I think their mission directly aligns with what we try and do here on our show. Plus, they're independent and subscriber funded. But my viewers get 40% off their top tier Vantage plan. Go into ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to compare coverage with context you can't find anywhere else. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.